led by architect and director Daniel Burnham.
And Daniel Burnham?
Lighting up over 100,000 bulbs.
Dead. American history. When you stand in the southern woods, when the moss hangs low and the air feels heavier than it should, you can feel it. Something watching. Something remembering. They told us the South's ruins are relics of war, homes of the wealthy, fortresses of defense, churches burned by invading armies. They wrote it all off as a byproduct of progress or tragedy. But what if there's another story, one not found in history books, one that doesn't fit the tidy timelines we're given? The columns that stand alone, the mansions built on sacred grounds, and star-shaped fortresses with no photographs of their birth. They aren't just ruins, they're questions. What if these weren't built? What if they were inherited? What if the South's true story isn't about plantations or battles, but a world that came before, a reset, a world erased? This isn't about nostalgia. This isn't about sides. This is about silence, the kind that drips from bricks and whispers through Spanish moss. The South didn't forget. It was made to forget. They say time erases everything, that the past slips into memory and memory slips into dust. But here, in the quiet woods of Mississippi, time forgot to finish its work. You don't find Windsor by accident. It's hidden deep in the Mississippi wilderness, the kind of place where the road narrows and the air feels heavy. And then, there they are, 23 Corinthian columns, weathered, towering, reaching into the sky like ancient trees turned into stone. It's beautiful, it's haunting, and it doesn't feel like Mississippi at all. It feels older, as if these pillars were there long before America was even an idea. The story they tell goes like this. Smith Coffee Daniel II, a planter with a name as grand as his ambitions, began building Windsor Mansion in 1859. It took 2 years, countless workers, and $175,000, a fortune at that time. 25 rooms, an observatory, ornate ironwork imported from New Orleans. They say it was the largest antebellum home in Mississippi. They say Union soldiers camped here, even using the rooftop for surveillance during the Civil War. They say it survived cannon fire and occupation, only to fall to a single careless cigar in 1890. But here's the thing. There are no photographs, not of its construction, and not of its grandeur. Despite cameras being common by the late 1850s, despite Windsor's size and fame, not a single image of the house survives. All we have is a sketch, drawn after the fire. How does the largest mansion in Mississippi vanish from history without leaving a single photograph? Was Windsor never quite what they said it was? Or was it something entirely different? Something they didn't want to remember? Not far from the ruins, you'll find a small family cemetery. Here lies Smith Coffee Daniel II, dead at 34, just weeks after his mansion was completed. His wife and several children buried nearby, all taken too soon. Locals whisper the land was cursed. Daniel's dream house was built on sacred soil. And then when you walk the grounds, you'll feel it. That weight, that knowing, the kind that sinks into your chest and won't let go. Then there's the fire. The official story is simple. A guest flicked a cigar into some debris. The house burned to the ground within hours. But there's another version, the one where neighbors gathered as Windsor burned. They didn't rush to help, and they didn't mourn. They danced, they drank, and they laughed as the flames consumed the mansion. A celebration or a ritual? And why would anyone celebrate such a destruction? Unless Windsor wasn't a home, but a memory of something else, something they feared. Where are the bricks? Where are the ironworks? The walls? The fire didn't just destroy Windsor, it erased it. All that remains are the columns, silent, proud, and out of place. It's as if the mansion itself was never real, or as if something far older was uncovered, and that had been covered up again. Look closer. The columns form a rectangle, aligned as if by design, a map marker on a forgotten grid. Mount Helena, the ancient mounds of Cahokia, the spires of New Orleans, all forming a lattice of power across the American South. Were these columns a part of something bigger? An energy system forgotten, dismantled, and buried under plantation myths? And then there are the stories. Visitors report feeling watched among the columns. Cameras refuse to work. Unseen hands brushing against shoulders. Footsteps on the grass when no one is there. Some say it's the Daniel family still wandering. Others say it's older. Spirits of those who built the columns long before Daniel ever set foot there. And then there it was. The feeling too. That chill. That sense of being observed by something vast and silent. They call them ruins. But maybe they're not ruins at all. Maybe they're monuments, marking a civilization that came before and was swept away. The columns of Windsor still stand alone because they were never meant to fall. Perhaps they're waiting for the day that we finally remember. This isn't just history. This is history japping.
If you enjoyed this polished retelling of progress and civilization,
And if you're questioning what's really been buried under the official story,
then don't forget to like the video.
share it with the ones who aren't afraid to ask why.
Follow and subscribe for new episodes uncovering forgotten marvels.
And the history that still yaps beneath the ruins.
Because the past isn't silent, it's yapping.